Tonight, we examine a high-stakes political exchange that revisits one of the most divisive controversies in recent U.S. history, the allegations of Trump-Russia collusion. At the center of this debate are claims made by lawmakers, later challenged by investigations such as the Durham Report, raising important questions about credibility, political communication, and media responsibility. What happens when official statements shape public belief long before evidence is fully established?
More than circumstantial evidence, more proof that there was collusion between President Trump and Russia, and it was just all false. And frankly, now we know it was. Now that we've seen information, now that the Durham Report is, this wasn't just any member of Congress making that statement. This wasn't just any chairman making that statement. This was the chairman of the Intel Committee, the committee that gets additional information than the rest of us get, going on television and saying something that was not true.
I'm going to our witnesses who are the subject of the hearing today, but before I do, and as you have chosen, instead of addressing the hearing to simply attack me, consistent with the President's attacks, I do want to respond in this way. My colleagues may think it's okay that the Russians offered dirt on the Democratic candidate for president as part of what was described as the Russian government's effort to help the Trump campaign. You might think that's okay. My colleagues might think it's okay that when that was offered to the son of the president, who had a pivotal role in the campaign, that the president's son did not call the FBI. He did not adamantly refuse that foreign help.
Schiff
No, instead, that son said that he would love the help of the Russians. You might think it's okay that he took that meeting. You might think it's okay that Paul Manafort, the campaign chair, someone with great experience in running campaigns, also took that meeting. You might think it's okay that the president's son-in-law also took that meeting. You might think it's okay that they concealed it from the public. You might think it's okay that their only disappointment after that meeting was that the dirt they received on Hillary Clinton wasn't better. You might think that's okay.
This moment highlights the intensity of congressional hearings, where political arguments often unfold under public scrutiny and high emotion. At the heart of the dispute is a fundamental disagreement over interpretation. What constitutes evidence, what qualifies as misconduct, and how much weight public statements from senior officials should carry. Supporters of the claims argue they reflect legitimate concerns about foreign interference, while critics point to later findings, including special counsel reviews, that challenge earlier assertions. The broader question is how institutional trust is shaped when competing narratives emerge from the same evidence. How should the public evaluate claims made under political pressure versus formal investigative conclusions?
You might think it's okay that when it was discovered a year later that they lied about that meeting and said it was about adoptions. You might think it's okay that the president is reported to have helped dictate that lie. You might think that's okay. It's okay that his attorney lied to our committee. There's a different word for that than collusion, and it's called compromise. And that is the subject of our hearing today. Mr. Ambassador, you are recognized for your opening statement. I will not yield. Mr. Ambassador,
you gentlemen yield because you just made some things about all of us that I think we all should get the opportunity to respond to. If you're going to say we think, you ought to allow us to speak of what we think.
You can use your 5 minutes to speak. You attacked me in your opening statement, and I respect.
More than circumstantial evidence, more proof that there was collusion between President Trump and Russia, and it was just all false. And frankly, now we know it was. Now that we've seen information, now that the Durham Report has indicted Mr. Zussman and Mr. Danchenko, and even the Washington Post has had to apologize and retract some of the things they wrote back then based on things Mr. Schiff was saying. And I think this is important for members of Congress to understand. This wasn't just any member of Congress making that statement. This wasn't just any chairman making that statement. This was the chairman of the Intel Committee, the committee that gets additional information than the rest of us get, going on television and saying something that was not true. That's the concern. And that is why so many Americans are upset with what took place for 3 years, all based on baloney. So much baloney that the Washington Post had to walk it back. So this is what's critical. And, you know, look, but to Mr. Cole's point, we're happy to work with the inspector. We like the inspector generals. Inspector General Horowitz, his reports on what the FISA court's been doing, those have been tremendous. So we want to work with them. We want to get information. But It would have been nice if they would have worked with us and we could have put something together. But no, couldn't do it that way. We're going to just pile it in one bill. We're going to bring it in front of the Rules Committee, take it to the floor, and pass.
This exchange reflects a broader struggle over truth, accountability, and political narrative in modern American politics. While supporters argue that earlier claims about collusion exposed legitimate concerns about foreign influence, critics maintain that later investigations and reporting raised serious doubts about those assertions. What remains clear is the lasting impact, deep political polarization, and eroded public trust in institutions and media alike. As viewers, the challenge is not only to follow the claims, but to critically evaluate how evidence evolves over time. Do you believe accountability has been fully achieved in this case? Share your perspective in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more balanced, fact-based political analysis.